Hi everyone, Sarvesh here. So from the past couple of months, I've been trying to learn what is AI and automation and how businesses can leverage AI and automation services to help their business grow. So what I have came across is chatbots. Now you might think that chatbots have been existed from many past, but these chatbots that businesses used to use were only conditional chatbots. They did not really allow users to interact freely. They were just for taking inputs from the user and not really, they were more interactive, you can say. So with tools like GPT and LLM models like GPT, what we can do is we can make these chatbots more interactive, more customized to the user. We can understand the sentiments from which the user is talking, and we can reply them. We can prompt our GPT models to tell us what the user really wants, and using the knowledge base we can really do that. Okay, so to really understand how to make these chatbots, you have to understand three topics. The first is prompting, the second one is how to make an API call, and the third is softwares like VoiceFlow or WordPress. So in this video we will learn prompting, we will see how we can prompt. In the second video, we will talk about API calls, and in the upcoming videos, we will cover more different topics. So let's go to our screen and see how we can prompt basically. So before we understand prompting, we have to first understand the difference between ChatGPT and GPT models. So what GPT models are? GPT models are LLM models created by OpenAI. LLM models stands for large language models. They are nothing but machine learning models that understand human language and can respond using human languages. And what ChatGPT is? ChatGPT is a software which allows us to interact with GPT models. ChatGPT makes API call to GPT models with a prompt, and GPT models respond us with the answer. That's all. So now you have understand what is the difference between ChatGPT and GPT models. Now we will move towards prompting. Mm, okay. So what is a prompt? As I said, prompt is nothing but a set of instructions you give to GPT models so that it can return you some text back, text or anything that you are asking for, right? So it is nothing but an input to an LLM model. It goes through your prompt, analyzes what you are really asking, and gives the answer in return. So you can see example here. Give me 10 example is give me top 10 businesses in India and sort them in terms of profit they are making. So in this example, if you don't write sort them in terms of profit they are making, it will give you randomly. It will give you some might other list might be the revenue they are making, right? So the more you instruct, the more you are clear in your prompt, the better it will be, right? So we have to remember this ultimate fact when we prompt, like good input implies good output. If your input is not good, that is, if your prompt is not good, you will probably not get output that you desired. You will continuously fine tune it, and then you will be receiving the answer that you can use, right? So how can we write a good prompt? So there are basically two principles to write a good prompt. The first one is we have to write a clear and specific instructions that a GPT model should behave, right? And the second one is we have to give a model to a time to think. This means that you have to give it a set of rules that it should follow to get the answer. Unless it can give you random answers, right? This problem basically happens in the mathematical problems where you are not specifying the steps to continue with, and it will just give you random answer it might think is right. Okay, so there are basically four tactics that you can use to apply these two principles. So we will go one by one. So the first technique is you have to use delimiters. Delimiters are nothing but double quote, triple quotes, curly braces, parentheses, etc. So the reason that why we use delimiters is we have to specify a certain text uh, in your prompt to set to specify certain parts in your prompt so that a chat GPT should not get confused, right? So if you want to summarize something, we can write this example. Let's summarize summarize the text delimited by triple quotes, and you can write your text here. So tactic number two is basically we have to always ask for structured outputs. For example, JSON or HTML. The reason being is in the real world you will not need a text to display something, or you will to display somewhere, right? You cannot do directly copy paste this. You will either need a JSON format so that you can use it somewhere else, right? Or you will need a HTML. HTML using HTML, you can directly display those data uh, in your website, for example, right? You can specify what should be the CSS of the HTML, etc., in your prompt. This is tactic number two. Tactic number three is we should always give model to check if the certain conditions are valid or not. Sometimes what happens is if we are not giving certain conditions to model, it might either give you wrong answer or it will not give you answers. Basically, it will give you long text of answer that this answer is not valid. So to satisfy those conditions, if you are not able to find certain things, do this. If you're not able to find this, do this. If you're able to find this, do this. These are the conditions that you have to give to the GPT model. So in this example, if you want to analyze the sentiment of a person, either it is positive, negative, or neutral, you can give us something like if you don't find any, you can tell you can tell GPT model in a prompt that if you are not able to find any sentiment, you can give neutral instead of the sentiments, right? So tactic number four is few shot prompting or single shot prompting. Your shot is nothing but an example. Along with your prompt, you are giving an example to the user, to the GPT model, so that it is able to understand the output and give the original output in that format only, right? So up till now we have seen these four tactics, but I can understand these four tactics can be really very overwhelming if you don't know their real use case. So what we will do is I will show you a problem statement that can be used in real world so that you will get a better understanding on how we can really write a prompt which will solve a real world problem, right? Okay, so the problem is we have to write a prompt to extract some dialogues from a movie or a series provided by the user. User will also specify the emotion of the dialogues he or she wants, and we have to return the format we have to return a JSON format. So, where the prompt that we will create, where it will be used. For example, you are creating a website which takes movie names from the user as the input and a emotion that he or she wants from the dialogues. We can also add particular genre, particular motivation that he is looking for, maybe, right? And using that JSON format, we will get from a GPT model. We can then display the dialogues he or she is desiring for, right? So, what really in our college days, what we used to build was, for example, students used to build movie recommendation systems. Um, but now you don't need to make these movie recommendation systems because you can just learn how to prompt and you can tell GPT model to give these things, to give this movie recommendation on the basis of genre, motivation, or positive, negative, etc. Right? So this can be really very useful. So now we will type in GPT model ChatGPT and see how this works. One thing that you have to keep in mind is this thing will the real world will not work like this. In real world, we will not use this. We have to make an API call for our own website. Okay. So now that GPT is that we have ChatGPT, so we can make this API calls using ChatGPT itself. So let's just start writing a prompt. So what we can see is what we can see is so um, give me give me top X for the movie or is delimited delimited in, let's say, triple delimited in this, and also give me the dialogues based on the emotion that is on the emotion that is delimited in triple quotes, triple triple quotes, let's say, or double quotes. You will see, or double quotes. The output should be in JSON format. The output should be JSON format, and output should have output should have um, as a key dialogue as a key and actual dialogue as value. Dialogue as value and character character as a key and name of a character as a value as a value. Only give the JSON format and no no other text, no other text. And what we can also specify is if the movie name is not something you know, if the movie or series name is not something you know, uh, give JSON as error, mm, undefined movie. Mm, movie name not valid, right? So here we can give a movie name. Let's say what we can give. We can give series name The Office. Office. X equals to x equals to 10. And what we are emotion equals to emotion, and what is the emotion? Emotion is double quotes, no? Sarcastic. Let's see what it gives. Okay, so now we have got we can see we have got 10 dialogues with the character using. So now you can use the JSON format in JSON answer in wherever you want, wherever you desire, right? So this is, yeah, there are some good dialogues running away from a response here at Switchboard. Yeah, this is relatable, but yeah, okay. So now let's say if the movie name is not something that it knows. Okay, so let's say we can write movie name the prisoner of Paratwada. Let's see what it gives. Okay, right. You can see how this works. You can display everything. Okay. So now, as we have seen the example, let me specify where we have used these four techniques, so you will get a better understanding. So the first technique was delimiting the specific parts. So this is how we can delimit. Imagine user is giving the input and you are direct mentioning the input directly here in the website, right? The second technique was to specify the format in which you want the answer. We have used the JSON format as you can see. The third one was to check conditions, to check conditions basically. So here we are checking the condition that if the movie name is not valid, give the different movie or show the error here. So we have shown the error here. This one error movie not no movie name not valid. Yes. Okay. So and the fourth one was giving example. We have not given example, but you know what we can do. We can directly use a JSON format here. We can directly copy this here, and we can right. We can show the format here like this. This is how we can do right. So in this way you can do prompting. So as that's it for this video. In the next video we will cover how to make an API request to our GPT models, and we will see some more examples. Okay, thank